What's up guys, this is Tay. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This video I'm going to be talking about making an offer on a house. So making an offer on a house isn't incredibly complicated, but it does take some skill, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to present an offer and how to lessen the likelihood that you get ripped off or overpay for a piece of real estate. Number one is you need to research the properties that have sold around the piece of real estate that you are planning on making an offer on. Now if you are a realtor, you probably already understand this process. It's called pulling the comps, but for those who are unaware, pulling the comps basically means looking in the MLS or in Zillow, finding properties that have sold and closed, key point here, within the past 6 months. You need to look at things like how long was this property on the market for, what are the characteristics of the house, was there certain amenities that made it different from the property in question that you are looking at, and maybe things like did it come back on the market after it had been under contract, the terms that the property was under contract for, such as cash, conventional, or maybe even seller financing. The biggest mistake that I see people make is they compare properties that aren't actually true comparables. Okay, so number two is with what you have researched, you need to come up with a game plan with what you have found. Formulating an offer is an art and it does take practice. In a raging hot market with a home that has a beautiful kitchen that is underpriced and that is in a very desirable neighborhood, you need to formulate an offer that has these characteristics. It's a multiple offer situation. You may want to offer list or over list, that you formulate the contract so that you don't ask for things like buyer's expenses, a home warranty, or any personal items in the house, and make the contract so that it has a very low due diligence date and that it has a very short close date. Writing an offer with those terms in it can be a very difficult pill to swallow, but you have to realize that if a house is very desirable and it's already got a lot of offers in it, you're going to have to go to great lengths to get the house that you want. Let's talk about it. If you're trying to put in a lowball offer for a property, or if you are in a very bad real estate market. This is when you can do things like offer below list price and negotiate with the seller with more aggressive terms. And above all, people are going to be way more likely to throw in things like buyer expenses and home warranties. A good example of a situation where a seller would be very likely to negotiate would be a home that has been on the market for a very long time and hasn't had any offers yet. Okay, so once you have an offer in mind, if you are a real estate agent, you need to fill out the offer on your standard realtor forms. If you are a real estate investor, more than likely you want to fill out a standard offer to purchase. I believe you could get one from an attorney. Many people don't want to work with real estate agents, but in the end, working with a real estate agent is going to benefit you greatly because the seller is already more than likely paying the buyer's agency commissions. Likely your very first offer is not going to be accepted. The seller is probably going to counter you. When you are engaging in these types of negotiation, and it's always best to set a limit that you will not go over and to not be too aggressive when you are negotiating. Biggest mistakes that I see people make is either they offer too low or they offer too high. Offering too high means that you're going to overpay for the property and not get the price that it should be worth. Offering too low means that the seller is more than likely going to reject, or they're not going to make any concessions later on in the deal. When and if the seller finally agrees to your negotiations, that's when you have a contract. This is when a home inspector or some type of home professional is going to go into the house and inspect the house for defects. You can negotiate with the seller off of the price. This could include things like roof issues, electrical issues, mold issues, foundation issues, or any type of issue that's going to cost a lot of money. Things that are not usually negotiable by sellers are going to include things like leaky sinks, dirty carpets. Those are usually defects that the buyer must take care of, but this is not always the case. There are some other things that need to be taken care of, but more than likely the attorney or the real estate agent is going to handle that. One thing that many people often ask me about is lowball offers. How exactly should you present lowball offers, and how can you increase the likelihood that a seller will accept your lowball offer. You need to research if in fact a lowball offer is going to make sense on this property. Has the property sat for a very long time? Is the seller in a situation where he or she may be foreclosed on or actually lose the property to a bank? To construct your offer, you need to focus on those things, and this can include a lower price, a very quick close, and taking the property as is, which is pretty much non-negotiable with a lowball offer. General tips for anybody that plans on making an offer on a property: don't be aggressive. The biggest mistake that I see real estate agents and investors make when they're putting an offer on a property is that they are incredibly aggressive when they first start making the offer. This increases the likelihood that the deal is going to fall apart or that the seller is not going to make any concessions in the future. But anyway, that's my video for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching.